Hey everyone, Kim here. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing a month in review, monthly faves. What's up with you? What's up with me? All those end of the month bits that we have to do as content creators, right? I just like it because it memorializes what I've been up to. And I'm doing this live on a leap year, February 29th. And yeah, yeah, it's just sunny and beautiful today in the tropics. So I'm grateful for that as well. It's been raining most of the week, and today it's just like, oh, it's glorious. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. Thank you for joining me. How are you? How are you doing? It is monthly faves. I decided to do it in a live, fingers crossed. I'm not going to keep y'all here all day, but it's just easier to do a live and to share my screen because I have been looking at some indie decks. And yes, I'm in a low buy year, death year, but there's a few decks that I'm like, ooh, maybe I can spend part of my budget, on this little deck. And there's three of them. And I could have all of them, I'm sure, but I don't want to do that. I like to challenge myself, you know. So that's also why I was having us gather live. So if you watch this on a replay, leave a comment on what you think of the decks that I am going to share with you all. And I'm going to use my new deck to the collection spread that I created when I was doing all the content for my depth year in 2020. And I made the course, Choosing Your Next Deck, Curating Your Collection. And I created that. And I created a spread that I use some of the questions from that spread to help me to decide if I want to back a deck on Kickstarter, if I want to pre-order a deck, if I want to buy it. I will consult my OG decks with the spread, and then we make a decision if this new deck needs to be added to the game or jumped in. So yeah, so hi. Oh, yes. See, and you and I share in our, like, we have similar taste, I find. So I'm curious to see what you think about it. All righty. Let me make sure that I am following what I need to be following. So, quick updates for me. Next month, I'm doing a reading lab the last Saturday of the month of March, which is March 30th. And it's going to be featuring Learning the Cups. It's called the Learn the Cups, and it's a reading lab. And you can either join my membership on Ko-fi, and you can start and stop the membership anytime, any tier, and you can join in and be a part of us working with the cups. I also have a standalone course in my Ko-fi shop, and it has quite a few videos, handouts, little tools for learning the cups. So that's available, and I hope you join. Like, the reading labs are fun. We get together once a month for a couple of hours on a Saturday, and we're throwing cards together, real life query questions or a spread, we want to work with together collaboratively. I usually do a lesson or a lecture on some aspect of card reading, and it's just so much fun, and I would love to hang out with you. You all are my peeps. Like, my husband teases me because he's like, you get so excited when you're hanging out with your virtual friends. I'm like, I do, because we have a big love of tarot and cartomancy, and it's just like, it's so much fun. So consider joining. And then that's a Poised to Leak hack. Because if you're part of the reading lab, you don't have to necessarily sign up for the course where you get all the videos and stuff. You could just do the reading lab with me and a few other readers. We get together and then you're done. But I have a huge library of content I made for Poised to Leak. It's like sitting at 243 videos. That's about learning cards, about starting your spiritual tarot business, um, all sorts of stuff, magical stuff. We're working with our ancestors. We have an ongoing series there. So it's good stuff. Yes, we are a bunch of card nerds, and it feels so good. I just marvel. Sometimes I'm like, I'm such a geek when it comes to cards. But I don't care. I geek out on tarot decks, oracle cards. I've been thinking about exploring Lenormand again, and it's a good place to be. Good place to be. So yeah, so that's what I've been cooking up and working on. So check it out. No pressure. But if you sign up, I do expect to see your little lovely face at the reading labs. Don't be like me and sign up for stuff and then don't finish it. Join in. You'll have fun. You'll deepen your reading practice. You can ask me questions and pick my brain about cards and things. All right, let's move on. Back in the swing of things with mystery mystic readings. Slowly getting back into it again. I'm taking a break on doing cases involving children. I'm feeling very tender-hearted right now. So, okay. Now, like I mentioned before, I am in a depth year. And what that means, for those who don't know, is a depth year means you're going like deep within, okay, maybe you collect books. Maybe you have a big, huge library and you're like, okay, this year I'm going to read what I have on my shelves. I'm not going to add anything. I'm going to read what's on the shelves. I'm going to go deep. I'm going to spend time in my library. So for those of us who collect decks, sometimes we feel called to enter a phase of just let me sit on what I have and just learn and go deeper with the decks that I have and just pause. And I did that in 2020. I have a whole playlist of my trials and tribulations with that. But it was a great learning experience. And now I'm doing a low buy year. I have a $250 or 250 US dollar budget. And that feels good. Here's why I have a budget versus just doing a full no buy year is I do readings professionally. I have to have working decks. And so I have to have a budget for when I bust out. Like this is going to be my third copy of my personal love oracle. It is like, this is the third copy. I got to get a fourth copy. It's made playing cards. And yeah, I use these daily. And I cannot not have a budget for cards if I'm reading professionally. Some of the cards are just not even usable at a certain point. Oh my gosh, they're falling apart. And yeah, so I have a budget. And I've spent, I think, $23.99 of my $250 budget so far. This is February 29th. So I think I did good so far. But the decks I'm going to show you all later in a minute, the decks I'm contemplating, they could totally blow my little budget out of the water. So yeah, I got to figure that out. And y'all are going to help me if you don't mind. Hi, Jackie. Oh my goodness. I have to check out you and I have to check. It came up on my feed yesterday. I got busy. Yesterday was a blur. I don't even, it was lots of one-on-one meetings. I was like, why was it a blur? And I saw that you did a like mysterious circumstances, missing persons reading on Samantha Murphy. So then I went down this whole little rabbit hole. I was like Googling, I didn't even hear about it. Australian missing women. And I was like, oh, so I was like, I'm not going to watch their video yet. I'm going to see about doing a reading and then I'm going to come back and watch and comment and all the things. Cause I was like, whoa, this is so much going on in the world. My God, I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves and really embodying self-care, self-nurturing. I gifted that to myself this month. This month is my birthday month. February 10th is my birthday. And it was nice. I gifted myself slowing down a little bit. Just slow down a little bit. And Netflix and chill and I don't know, eat yummy food and take long, luxurious baths and journal and play with my little planners with the stickers and stuff like that. And go sit in front of my shelves and look at my deck and talk to loved ones over the phone, long distance for me. It's just slow down. Take a moment to take care of yourself. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in the world. So let's take care of each other and remind each other, that we got to tend to ourselves. Hello, Debbie. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy you all are here. Yes. Yes, yes. Let me tell you, this right here, Jackie, Netflix, YouTube, and tarot cards. Shame to admit, but sometimes I do it all at once. Like I'll have Netflix on the TV, tarot cards sitting right here, maybe an oracle deck, and I'm maybe watching some series. I'm binge, watching a series or something. And then YouTube on my tablet or on my cell phone, because I'm kind of like looking and seeing what's going on over there. But totally comfortable, totally at peace, eating some candy that was sent from America that totally I shouldn't be doing. I need to go to the dentist. But heaven, my birthday month is amazing. Amazing. I chilled. I hung out at the beach on my actual birthday. And I went to this cute little restaurant. I think I have pictures. I posted on my Instagram. Super cute little beach restaurant. Yeah. But you know what? I was biting at the bit to get home and chill. Netflix and chill. Hello, Donna. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Artists and Oracles, my co-host. We do artistry of cartomancy, creating a space for those of us who are feeling led and called to read for others, whether you do it professionally or you're getting started reading for others, or maybe you only want to read for others, but you don't want to get compensated. But we're having a safe space to talk about certain topics that come up. It's been fun, and we've got more to come. That's another thing we've been working on, and I'm happy Donna popped in. So welcome, 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 welcome. Hello, how was your Aquarian time, Debbie? How did you celebrate your season? And you are right. Calories don't count. How much sugar I was consuming don't count. Like, yeah. A little debauchery never hurts anybody. Thank you, Chris. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I just love my cards. I could eat them. I always tell people about like my first hurricane here, and the only thing that kept me sane and happy and content while the power was out for 8 days was my cards in my little reading room. I was like, during the daylight, and obviously if you don't have power at night, you're not trying to run the generator all night and stuff. But during the day, I was in this room making jewelry bracelets that I was wearing for a time, doing readings, and I was playing with journaling and using my cards, and it just helped me to stay sane. So I will always, that is one of those many moments with tarot that has helped me. It helped me in a crisis and in the mundane of things, sitting and watching. Sometimes I'll watch true crime stuff, and it'll be about a case I never heard about before, and I'll pull out like a tarot deck and like a true crime deck, and I'll be shuffling and be like, okay, what's coming up next? And I shuffle, and then it pops out the card. And that's also some kind of little guilty pleasure I take in. Yeah, I love the chats. I love the chats that we have. And I love how you all participate in our discussions, because you all be bringing it, the chat in our live streams. Like, I live for it. Yeah. Well, no, where I come from, it's birthday month. It's a whole month to celebrate, to celebrate you. That's the deal. That's what it is. It used to be a day, then a week. No, no, month. Month. Remember how Disneyland, and this is probably for those of us who are in the States, where they would have like some anniversary party or something, and it felt like the anniversary party would last all year going into the next year. And you're like, you would think an anniversary day for Disneyland, but it would be like, oh no, this is the 50th year or whatever, and we're gonna celebrate big. And it's like all year long. I mean, 50 would be big, but it would be something like, I don't know, let's just say the 47th. And you're like, okay. Yeah. Go big or go home. No, just all month. Now, you don't have to announce to everybody that you are celebrating all month long. I have friends who actually will announce this is my birthday month, but I do a little quiet. I do milk it. Like my birthday fell on a Saturday. So I did milk like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But truth be told, all month was a celebration. Okay. All month. Let's see. I have good friends who celebrate her birthday month. Yes. And I'm like, I can't be mad. I'm like, do you, boo? All right. So let me see. Where am I at on my list? You don't have to stay on top. All righty. Death year, check. Oh, I will say something else about my death year. So back in my heyday of collecting, I used to spend about 1,000 to 1,500, usually about more on the end of 1,500 per year on decks. And so to go to a place where I'm only spending a couple of hundred, maybe 300, I think when we first got here, I don't know, I can't remember. That's huge for me. So I was like, and so far so good. 2024, I've only spent $23.99. Are you all doing a depth year? Let me know. Do you have questions about a depth year? And remember, you set the parameters. This year, I'm just doing low buy. I explain. Hi. How did I lose my sound? Did Oh, I know what happened. I cursed. I don't know how long I've been without sound. I cursed, and so StreamYard, I have some setting that I don't know how to change, and it mutes me. So Tony says that she's deep into over purchasing. I didn't get much further than that. Like, where are you at in your depth here? Thank you, Donna. So yeah, it blocked me. How rude. Somebody told me the last time this happened that there's a setting that I can kind of crank it down on like the parental controls. I'm like, what? I don't even know what curse word I said. Yeah, really. I know. And that's what I was saying. Like, I need to turn it down because sometimes curse words slip out. I do curse, believe it or not. I know a lot of people think I'm really nice, but I have a little bit of a sailor's mouth, right? Like, we they say that people who swear a lot are intelligent. So that's, I don't know. I've been cursing since I was a kid. What do you want from me? Okay, so let me share with you. Uh, yeah, you must see. I think Chris probably has the setting like adjusted appropriately because I know there's a setting. I just need to play around and figure it out. Like every time I don't do live streams very like often to like be like, okay, let me make sure the settings are all set up. So every time something is like happening, I'm like, oh God, I was supposed to fix that the last time. Yeah, so maybe it's an Aquarius thing to our air sign thing. I don't know. Because, we can use colorful language. Our thing. But yeah, it emphasizes, curse words emphasize the message. All righty. So I'm going to share with you the first one. We're going to vet the deck. Now, before I share the deck, I'm going to share something else with you. And that is my spread that I plan to do. Okay. This is my new to the collection interview spread. Now, I'm not going to do all these questions. And I'm thinking what I might do is pull my favorite questions from this spread with you all. I'm going to use my trusty deck. And then I'm going to pull 3 cards, one for each deck, and see like which one stands out, like out of the 3 options that I'm going to show you. And I think I'm going to make sure I have sound. Is it still showing? Yeah. Okay. So one of my favorite questions on here is, how will I feel about this deck 6 months from now, should I get it? Or 12 months from now? And another question is, what is the real reason I'm trying to add this deck to my collection? As it stands now, I don't have a lot. I mean, I have room. If I want to build shelves all around, I could to accommodate a growing collection. But truth be told, I don't really want to do all that. And second of all, I like having white space on my shelves. And so a lot of my decks are stored in these closed shelves, but I have decks here and there. And I just I don't want too many decks. So I do take steps because I know that I can go crazy over stuff that I love. I went crazy when I was into designer purses. I went crazy over boots. Like I had a crazy amount of very lovely boots. Crystals, books. I go crazy. So I have to find ways to reel me back in. So that's why I created little stopgaps. The wish list that I created, let me stop sharing. Um, is the godsend. It's simple. You create a little spreadsheet, or if you got to handwrite it, and you think you have a deck, even if it's on pre-order or Kickstarter, and you just have a cooling off period. See how you feel in a few days, and then decide if you still really want the deck. That's been huge. And so, you know to know thyself be true. Yes, yes. Hello. Hi. How are you doing? We had a good time the last time um, you hung out with us. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I like how you have Care Bear. I like your name. Ah, it makes me nostalgic. Okay. So let me show you the deck. Let me share. I'm not very fast with this, so bear with me, friends. It's not slides. Share screen. Okay, have you all heard about this one? The Rhythm and Soul Tarot. It is by the creator who created, is it the Southern Gothic Oracles? I think, yes. Stacey Williams Ing. Yes, and she even says it here in the bio. I am the creator of 3 other indie decks, the Southern Gothic Oracle, the Southern Botanic Oracle, and Roses, Dust, and Ashes. She's 10th generation Southerner. Oh, I think I might even have her beat. We have a lot of generations in the South. But I love that she has Southern roots. She's from Memphis. She says here she's based in Memphis, Tennessee, which is about an hour and 20 minutes north of where my peoples on both sides of my family are. So it's just like whenever there's a deck that comes out of the South, I have to like at least consider getting it because it just seeing the images feels so good. I will admit, I don't think I have any of her decks though. So I don't know. I don't have much experience with this creator, but I know that she delivers. She's got an Etsy shop. She's selling decks. She's in multiple print runs. I'm confident that she would get the Kickstarter out, decks delivered. This is a solid investment. Let's look at some of the pictures. Let's see. I don't know if I can get anything closer. And these are people depicted in the cards are real people that she's that's in her life. So that intrigued me. Oh, here's the death card image. And it's already fully funded. I think Queen of Jazz is wands. Let me show you all. Here's the box. Is that Billie Holiday? It looks like Billie Holiday. And friends, she even has a playing card. Look at this. She even has a playing cards deck that can be thrown in as an additional bonus thing. I forgot what you call them. Look at the Hierophant, the preacher. Feels a little benevolent. And this is someone she actually knows. The Papa, the Emperor. Cups, blues, the blues, cups, which totally makes sense. Totally makes sense to me. Emotional. It's the friendship in the Two of Cups blues is shown as a pair of Mississippi sharecroppers. And as you all know, my peeps are from Mississippi. Okay, the High Priestess. This is an interesting High Priestess. Like the little moth there. Got all the majors listed. It's kind of hard to probably show it. I don't know if I can make it bigger. But oh, here we go. I love the magician. Oh my God. He's got his machete. We have machetes because we have to always constantly clear. It grows like the tropics. It's very lush that way. It's an interesting upside down hanged one. I love the tower. Look at that. Look at that. Here is, as opposed to temperance, we get harmony. So the alchemy of music, right? A little banjo and guitar. So fire is Ace of Wands. Ace of Blues is water. Ace of Axes is air, actually. And then earth is roots. All right. Let's see what you all are saying so far to that one. Have you heard about it? What are your thoughts about that deck? All that. Oh gosh, look, I'm missing comments. Thank you. It was my childhood nickname, Steve. I was like, I don't want to date myself and be like, Care Bears. Like I'm old enough to like have like Care Bear paraphernalia. I don't have it anymore, but strawberry shortcake, Smurfs. Yeah, so I love it. Love you. That's why I said I was like nostalgia, nostalgic. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Please hit the like button, friends. I appreciate it. Oh, so you're in the Carolinas. And that was so it's like I wanted when I go back to the States, I'm gonna be in the South. I want to do a tour of not just Mississippi and Tennessee. That's where my peoples are. I want to explore the Carolinas. And I have friends both in both North and South Carolina. So if I ever hit the area, there is a small possibility I will be this year. I will make an announcement and see who's there, who wants to hang out. Right? It does feel very ancestral, and I'm so drawn to it. I'm so drawn to it, and it just feels like coming home in a way. And yeah, I saw an instant love. Now, here's a couple of things I don't like about it. I'm just going to be straight up. Is that it is 3 inches by 5 inches. So my finger it's 3 inches, right? Is that length? And it's 5 inches long. I normally I do have a measuring tape that's across the room. I don't feel like getting it. But y'all know 3 inches by 5 inches. For those of us who don't deal with inches, if you need me to go get my measuring tape, that's right there. I'll go get it. Because I know living here, I'm like, oh, we use inches and feet. Not everywhere else does. But it's a bit hefty. And I like traditional sized oracle or tarot. I'm trying to see if I can find something. That's just me. But I really like it. And sometimes I do make compromises. And I am very forgiving on like glossy versus, like a rose petal finish. I have my preferences, but it's not necessarily a deal breaker. 3 inches by 5 inches is not necessarily a deal breaker, but it makes you go pause like, I don't know. And it's going to be an indie deck. So, the quality is probably going to be there. So it's going to be a thicker cardstock, which is difficult to shuffle. And I do want to work with it. So I don't know. Sunshine Bear was my favorite. Oh, let me see. Can I remember? I'm gonna be this live. I'm gonna be going through like trying to remember which of my favorite bears. Um, at work one year, I might even have it on my private Facebook. Maybe I'll share it here. At work, we dressed up because in the office, it's like Halloween was a big thing. We decorate our cubicles and like haunted houses or different themes, and we all dress up. And so our unit, which was all women, it's like 7 of us. We all dressed up as Care Bears, but that was like 2017, 2018 was the year. And we got to pick our favorite one. I think I was the blue one. I can't remember. I know the light, like sky blue one. My memory it's getting fuzzy. Nice. Okay, okay. All right. Is this deck on Kickstarter? It looks cool. It is on Kickstarter. It is on Kickstarter. Let me share because I want to show you all that I want to show you something as soon as I figure this out. As soon as I get it together. All right. So let me not scroll like that. Sorry, guys. So she was only looking for 10,000. Her goal was 10,000 US. She super exceeded that. Is that $46,036 and there's 672 backers, 20 days to go. I saved the project, of course. Of course I did. And so there's been a lot of what do they call it? The little things that are unlocked. What do you call them? I can't think of the word, and it's not jumping out at me on the screen. Stretch goals that have been unlocked. I was gonna see if I can find the card backs. Sorry for the heavy scrolling. Here's the jazz suit. Cute, super diverse. And it's original art, which is also very much an amazing thing. And to be able to sort of support a creator to create and create such a beautiful body of work. I really, really enjoy this. I really, really. I'm looking at it now and getting all excited again. Look at the roots. Ah, all of them. And so here's the Devil's Music playing card deck. I was like, wouldn't it be fun if we all did like a little like periodic get together where we're just working with playing cards on live? Those of us want to do it. We have somebody who's like well versed at it, and then we like throw cards on something, questions. Who knows? I don't know. Anyways, and there's spreads. Really, really cool. Really, really, really cool deck. So that's number one, the Rhythm and Soul Tarot. What's that? The blue one. Let's see. Papa Smurf. Oh, I love the Smurfs. Gargamel. Remember the villain? I would try to have, as a kid, I would try to be like compassionate, like understanding that he's just not loved and he doesn't love himself. But he would terrorize the Smurfs. Hello. Hi. How are you? Thank you for joining. I'm showing and telling decks that I'm thinking about backing or just keeping on the wish list and just saying, hey, universe, deliver it somehow, some way. So, yeah. Definitely visit Charleston, rich in its history and all. My best friend lives there too, so I could definitely meet up. I'm in the mountains of South Carolina. It sounds amazing. Hey, Scott. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My little birthday month is coming to a close today. So I was like, let me love on February a little bit longer before it's gone. That's right. Okay. Tony, I'm glad y'all are here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Scott. I'm trying to. I'm also. This is lightweight me trying to test out to see what's going on with my Wi-Fi, so then I can hop on with you and visit. I want to visit all of y'all's channels who are open to having me. It was my birthday month, so now I'm like, okay, I want to get back into, you know, hanging out on the tube with y'all. It's more fun, when we're all together. Rhythm and soul, rhythm and soul. Yes, they are. And it's actually like, I didn't call it cartomancy at the time, I don't think, but that was my introduction into cartomancy. And then it took over. Like it just took over. And the tarot really took over for me. Oh, for you, Sibylla, Chris, or Kim. I have it, but it's another like a cartomancy system to explore. See, it's just so many different ways you could go with the cards, and I'm definitely curious. There's Kipper. I don't think I have a Kipper deck. Nope. I haven't either. Chris, I have not tried it either. Oh, you know, I don't know. I'll have to check. I'll have to check. Woo-hoo is right. I think the last live with the stream that we did, a few things. Like that was like it for me in the old internet company or whatever we were using. I was like, I can't do it no more. And then it was storming that night. And then what else? There was something else that was bothering the heck out of me that I was like, no more. So I it was the Wi-Fi for sure. But anyways, yes, it's a lot better. Oh, and another tip like that I learned. Hello. Power went out. That's the other thing. You could have the best Wi-Fi ever, but power will go out. You had a little power outage. So, anyways, I don't know who's still here or not, but I'm glad the stream held up because I was like, I don't want to have two videos. I want one. Okay, hold on, friends. I'm gonna get back to what we were talking about. We were talking about the Rhythm and Soul Tarot, and I'm gonna bring back this damn dog. I'm gonna bring up the next deck that I was checking out or thinking about getting here. Hello, you're here. Okay, I'll better now. Ugh. Yay, you stayed. If you know anything about me, you know I'm in the tropics. Things like storms and power outages and Wi-Fi issues are abound. So you know and trust that if I disappear like that, I'm gonna find my way back to you. I'm gonna find my way back. Okay. So, anyways, I was all telling Scott, like, Scott, things are better. I assure you, they are better when the power is on. Okay. So, anyways, Rhythm and Tarot, totally. It's a Kickstarter deck. How are you all feeling about indie decks now? Have you had any decks that you've been checking out? What about mass market decks? In a little while, I'll show you a recent mass market deck that I added to the collection, and yeah, let you know how I feel about it after a month of having it. But are there any decks on your radar that you are thinking about getting? And if so, share. Yay! That's the perk to working with StreamYard, because then you all can still chill and hang out. Pedal faster. I'm coming. I'm coming. All right. So, anyways, that's the one that came up on my radar, and I was like, I gotta have it. So, next up, I'm going to share with you about is this next one. Y'all probably know about it more than I. Like, you probably already know about it, but I'm curious. I'm going to be curious to hear what you think about this next option. Share screen, get it together. Okay. This is going into second print of Unfinished Business, a Ghostly Tarot. This is a pre-order. I don't know where I was when the first edition came out. I don't know. But I'm impressed. I believe this is the creator of the Crow Tarot, and I'm not really into crows are fine. And it's a beautiful, those are like beautiful decks that this creator has made. I just wasn't called to work with it. But this one, I really like. I really like the energy of it. Look at the Four of Pentacles. But it too is 3 inches and some change by 5 inches. And that's what I was going to ask you all. If you need me to go and get the measuring tape, in case you're like, I don't know what you mean by that. Love the Six of Swords. Make sure I'm on. Six of Cups. Page of Pentacles. It's just so dreamy, and I really like it. I really, really do. Oh, the other thing about the Rhythm and Soul Tarot, I think it's $50, typical Kickstarter price. And then if you add on the Kickstarter or the deck, the tarot deck, and then the playing, what is it? The playing cards deck, that's 65 US. And so here you've got 46. The delivery time is expected late April, early May. I have to look and see on the Rhythm and Soul in a moment when that is expected to deliver. Here's the High Priestess. So I guess there's like ghostly themes. There's 79 cards. Do you all know this deck? Do you have it since it's already in print and out in the world, first edition? What do you think about it? How do you use it in readings? Share in the comment section down below because I'm sure I'm not the only one who would be curious about this deck. And look at the Nine of Wands. Look at the Nine of Wands. Queen of Swords is beautiful. You can see her breath. She's breathing in the winter time. Oh, there's a Lenormand deck right here. Tales for Tomorrow, Lenormand. Connecting with the energy of the tarot. She has a class here, the creator. So anyways, that is Unfinished Business, a ghostly tarot. What do you think? What do you think about that one? And I'm just going to check to see when the Rhythm and Soul is expected. July 2024. And also, I do usually treat myself to one, maybe two indie decks per year now, where I indulge in the whole process of like, oh, when is it coming? And what's the updates from the creator? And that whole bit. I love it too. I'm kind of weird that way. But do plan on getting it. Let me see. Let me see what you all are saying. I'm interested in so many, but my budget doesn't allow me to get it at the moment. They are pricey. They are pricey. And I don't mind making the investment in them, but I have to also be very aware of what my budget is doing. You know, we have so many different things we have to do around the house. Like, for example, because we live like about a mile or like a couple of miles from the beach. So the water is hard with like it's sandy, like the water that comes out of the sink. So there would end up being an issue with our water tank yesterday. I have to account for these things and make sure that I, don't be just spending my money all on decks because little emergencies happen. So then thankfully we got that situation fixed yesterday. Thankfully. That's also why things were a blur earlier when I was like, why is it a blur? Oh, because I was dealing with one-on-one meetings with people I'm mentoring and coaching. And then my husband constantly coming in and asking me, what do I think about this and that? Like I'm a plumber. So they are pricey. Not that they're not worth it, but they are pricey. Just pre-order the Aquarian Tarot Anniversary Edition coming out with the original box this month. I saw that. And I was like, that was another deck that I was thinking about wanting to get because I've always wanted the Aquarian Tarot. And this seems like an appropriate time to get it. Now that we're going through the anniversary celebration situation. Oh, which deck? Are you talking about the Aquarian Tarot anniversary? Maybe somebody answered it down the line in the comment section. Are you talking about the Unfinished Business? I'm curious. Some of my Etsy wish lists are 60 to 80. I have twin toddler girls. They're expensive. Yes, they are. One, it's expensive. Two, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. We have different seasons of our lives that we're in. And that was another thing that I was thinking about in my last depth year and creating the Choosing Your Next Deck, Curating Your Collection like course and the playlist that we have on the channel. It was important for me to emphasize to you that you might be in a season in your life where it's just not really feasible to be adding to your collection, and that's okay. I want to encourage people to celebrate the decks that they do have. And I get tickled with myself when I have well-worn decks. That means I am using the hell, I was about to cuss. I'm using the heck out of them. I'm using them, abusing them. So, and I love getting decks off of Etsy too. Yeah, it is. It is a tad bigger. And so with 78 cards, or sometimes there'll be 79 or 82, it can be really hardy, like hard to manage if you've got wrist issues or hand issues, tendonitis, carpal tunnel stuff. Um, or if you just like me, I have tiny, tiny wrists. So if I overwork them, my doctor said the little canals or whatever, they're very tiny. So it doesn't take much to get my wrist to hurting and aching. And if I'm doing readings, I have to be mindful of that. So then it becomes, well, what is this deck going to be relegated to being used as? Is it going to be mostly a deck of just me enjoying and pulling it out for the occasional reading for myself, or maybe a friend who happens to be over in my house, or relative or what have you? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if I want that. So, yeah. Love MJ, have several of hers. Just looked at this new one and was tempted, but not sure I'd use it. Exactly. And I don't have many decks like that. See, another thing that's cool about tracking decks is you can have a column on your list where you're like, okay, I want to categorize my decks. This is a crystal deck, or this is one that deals with ghosts or, zombies. I don't know. Just have your categories. And if you filter it and you see that you have a few decks that are like ghostly, then you look at what you already have in your collection and you say, okay, well, maybe I don't really need to get this new deck because I have something that's represented already in my collection. The other thing is, it is important to be mindful of like, what is the purpose? Why would I really be needing to add this deck to the collection? Why do I need it? Do I need it? Is it just for aesthetic purposes? And sometimes that's in and of itself enough just to admire the art. But maybe you have small kids at the house. Maybe you just moved into your new home. Maybe you are like me and decide to up and sell everything and move away and you live abroad and it's not really always practical to just be having decks coming all over the place. Maybe you're trying to get out of debt. Who knows what the situation is, but just honor where you're at and then celebrate what you got. Hi, Krista. Oh, yes, you say you were on your phone and you didn't get your notifications. Those little notifications, sometimes like it'll notify me and the whatever is happening, the live stream or something, it's like well underway. I'm like, this isn't a very lickety split notification system, YouTube. Because it'll be like 30 or 45 minutes, and I'm like, I missed it. That's what happened with Jackie's live stream yesterday, but it kind of worked out because I'm like, okay, now I'm going to do the reading on Samantha Murphy when I'm ready, and I'm going to circle back and watch the replay. But the notification on Heather's channel didn't come in for several minutes into the live stream. But I do appreciate the notifications. Hey, Lisa D, how are you doing? Oh my God, I had a dance party last night. Listening to, I don't know why, Lisa D, I don't know why your name just makes me feel nostalgic again, but listening to 90s rap, like West Coast rap. I am from West Coast. Like, um, it was quite a dance party I was having in my living room. I needed it. I needed to dance. You ever just need to dance? My God, even if you can't really and there's no rhythm happening, but you just got to dance. That's where I was at. Yes. Yes. You know what? Sometimes that's enough. That, that was also what carried me through my depth year in 2020 was everybody else was getting decks. I could live right through them and that works fine. I have slowed down quite a bit on doing unboxings and reveals and all the things, flip throughs on my channel. Um, doesn't mean I don't have any decks that I could do some flip throughs. I have some that have come in as of last year and early this year that I'll be sharing with you all, but I'm taking my time. I'm going to get to know the decks a little bit better. There's a few decks that I'll do like fresh out of the postal service. I'm doing an unboxing, but most of the time now I think it's just a new season for me as a content creator. I want to sit with the decks and then come to you with like, this is how I work with it. This is what works for me. Okay, this size of deck actually is kind of problematic. Ooh, this card, I don't like it. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm so happy y'all are here. Aquarian Tarot is US Games. Yes. US Games. I don't know where I've been, but I started following their, I don't know, Facebook page. And so that's how I got a notification about the Aquarian Tarot, like anniversary edition. And there's been other decks that they've been showing, and I'm like, I need to unfollow them. Yeah, unfinished business, right? It's something so otherworldly about it. And I love the idea and the whole magic element of ghosts. And that appeals to me. And I love a good story, like in the guidebook. So it's a unique deck too. I might have a couple of decks that are kind of similar feel, but not really. Like my Dream Keepers Tarot or Haunted House Tarot in terms of the storytelling that's happening through there. I don't know, but I really like it. I really, really like it. Yeah. It's so yeah, it's just like we're in a season and it's all good. And that's why I don't want to. That was another thing too. It's like I felt called to like just step off the thing where oh I gotta always show off these new decks. I don't always want new decks. Sometimes I don't even want to have to deal with waiting for them or saying, oh look, I'm not working with them again. So ebbs and flows. That's why I compare it. I compare deck collecting to moon phases. What moon phase are you in? Right now, I was in a waxing moon phase to full moon. And I think I'm getting now to a solid full moon, not quite at a waning moon yet. Yes, yes. And that's how I feel too. Like if you didn't make it to my wish list, well, then I don't know if I can just be buying you. Like I have to have a cooling off period. Let me add you to the wish list, see how I feel in a few days. And you know what's funny? The unfinished business, the one I just showed you all. I meant to add it to my wish list, but I forgot. And I was like, oh no, what was the deck? I was worrying, fretting. And then I remembered, I was like, oh, the algorithms of the internet is going to like plop it right back in my face again. I don't need to worry. And sure enough, I was scrolling through Facebook and their little ad for it popped up and I promptly put it on my wish list. And I was like, look, I didn't have to worry about it, but I panicked for a minute. What deck was it? It was about to go into a pre-order second printing. What's going on? What didn't even need to worry. Because here's the thing, there's also some joy. And if a deck goes out of print, there's a joy in finding and stumbling upon it or being gifted it later down the line. Like, oh, that's the deck I wanted. And it's been on my wish list for so long and it's out of print, but there it is. I got it. It's just so gratifying if you're a collector. So, Krista, you and I are there, right there. And I had to stop actively following Kickstarter. I think I still get emails from them, but I'm like, this is trouble. This is trouble. I'm trying to season the 40 to 50 decks I have now. That's tough. Like a good cat. Oh, I love a good cast iron skillet. Fun fact, we dragged up quite a bit of stuff from the US to the Dominican Republic. And one of the things we're so grateful that we brought, but it weighed a ton, was our cast iron skillet we got as a wedding present. And yeah, we use it. My dad, that's how he cooked his meals, a good strong cast iron skillet, seasoned. So yeah, it weighs so I mean probably like Where are these people going? Like, you got cast iron skillets and seasoning spilt everywhere in the suitcase. It was just a mess. Yes, it's so shiny and purty. Mine tells me 30 minutes before. Maybe, you know what? I wonder if you can set it. And truth be told, it could be something on my end with the Wi-Fi connection. I don't know. Maybe it was like, oh, you're not in a Wi-Fi area. Now you're back on. Here's the notification. I won't totally blame YouTube, but it did kind of irritate me that like the last couple of days, it just felt like the notifications have been a little late. And I like to come in early. I hate busting in late to people's live streams and be like, hey, everybody, I know it's no big deal. And please, you all can come and go as you please with mine. For me personally, it's just a little like, I want to say hi, but then I hold back. I'm like, oh God. It's like going into like church all late, you know. Oh, my family used to be so bad. Like we would be so tardy sometimes going to church. It's probably because my parents didn't really want to go. And we're in our beautiful Sunday best. I have a cute little yellow dress. It's flowy and like cute and everything. And we're coming up, and you open the door to the church, and all the eyes turn to you, and the preachers in the it's just so maybe I'm kind of traumatized. Like my inner child is like, yeah, it's bad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah. Yeah, dancing in my kitchen, dancing as I wash dishes, dancing as I make a sandwich. Yeah, I was gigging like, what was one of my favorites that came on? Oh, trying to think. Oh, clearly like Snoop Dogg. Some of it was like, ooh, I won't even share like some of the artists because you'd be like, oh my God, you listen to gangster rap. So I'll just keep it to myself. We'll go with Snoop Dogg. Yes, West Coast rap. Well, Run DMC, I think it's East Coast. I was a kid when Run DMC came out, like, and we were loving it then. But I grew up in like the '90s, so the music. So let me think. Dr. Dre, NWA. Okay, Too Short. Tupac. You know who else? Yeah, there's lots more. So, and I listen to all kinds of music, world music from everywhere. I listen to old school, I listen to rock, I listen to even little, like, I love like 70s, like easy listening rock, because for my parents, jazz, I listen to a lot. But when I'm like ready to, like, you know, I'm ready to break it down and dance and all that, I gotta listen to some some bass. I'm going through my CDs, taking them out of jewel cases, putting them into sleeves, and reminiscing. Oh, I left my CD collection behind at my parents' house. I had a lot of CDs, a lot of CDs, and I put them all in sleeves too before we left. And I think my mom, she has a stereo. I could listen to them and drive them crazy when I go visit them. Yeah. Ah, I listened to a lot of Tupac yesterday. There was somebody else. And East Coast rap I was listening to as well. Like it was like, the YouTube algorithm was just playing along 90s music. Some R&B stuff. Um, Tony, Tony, Tony. It Never Rains in Southern California. Love that song. So yeah, waiting for them is the worst. So this is waiting for death. I'm in Ireland. It can take 2 weeks to get a deck, maybe longer. It's like we are on the blanket. I'm sorry, Jackie. That cracked me up. Yes, it can feel that way. And in the States, in California, I didn't appreciate that until living here. I'm like, oh dang. Okay. And actually it's gotten a lot faster since we've moved here. Like it's progressively getting faster. Like if we order something from Amazon and then it has to travel by boat or by plane from Miami to the DR, takes now about a week. About a week. But when we first got here, it was taking a few weeks. I was like, oh my God. And that's not even, that's actually pretty fast by other standards throughout the world. So you said like we're on the bloody moon. Oh my God. And we may have lost Chris. Chris has a live at 5 or well, in about an hour. I was gonna say, like y'all on my time zone. And Scott might have stepped out. But aside from my power outages, the Wi-Fi is feeling stable. And so Chris said I could come and visit on his channel sometime. And Scott said I can come back. And Jackie and Heather and I are going to be collabing at some point. And so I'm happy that aside from this power outage, so far so good. And, oh, and them censoring me. My collection of tarot cards is huge. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love having a wide selection for readings. I try to match the decks to the mood, theme, and energy of the reading. I mean, this is our tool of the trade, so to speak. So that's why for me, I don't have no guilt about my collection. I love it. I cherish it. When I now add decks, I've now refined my taste to a point where I'm like, okay, I know this is going to be instantly one that I'm going to be working with for clients in different types of scenarios. Like I'm planning on doing a video for the channel about decks I like to use for well-being and health kind of related readings. I know I'm not diagnosing. This is for folks who want to tap into their best life in terms of their physical well-being or their overall mind, body, and spirit kind of readings. So I'm going to do a video on that with all the different decks I have in my collection. I now have a collection where I could be like, I have a few decks to share from the collection. That's fun. That's fun to just be able to have access to. Again, we always talk about this. Nobody is talking mess about those who have libraries, you know? Hold on one second. I'm back. I'm like, I heard a noise and I'm like, what the heck was that? I have to check on that. See what is going on. Hey, Scott. So yes, thought we lost you. I have my grandmother's cast iron skillet. It's probably at least 40 to 50 years old. You see what I mean? And they pass down. That's the other thing. Like I hope to collect my dad's. God forbid. Hopefully he's here for a very long time. He still uses them like crazy. He still cooks like crazy in California, making Southern meals. Like it feels like daily because he posts them on Facebook, and I'm like, I miss them. Oh, I miss collard greens so much. Oh my God. When I go back to the States. Last time I went back to the States, I kid y'all not, I gained like 15 pounds. I was like, oh, not that I'm underfed here. It's not that at all. It's just different kind of living and eating and everything and natural and no preservatives hardly unless I'm buying something from America or like a westernized country. The processed foods. But otherwise it's your food gonna ruin real fast because it's no preservatives. And when I went to the States, oh my God, I picked out. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. My hubby cooks everything in our cast iron skillet. He's obsessed with it. Like, yeah, a good skillet. That's another thing that people collect. And my dad is obsessed with his. My husband is obsessed with the one we brought. We used to have a Dutch oven, a cast iron Dutch oven. We had to go ahead and give it to our mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, not his mama. We could not take both the cast iron skillet and the Dutch oven. That was not gonna happen. The plane with like the airport said nope. Yes, yes, yes. I'm telling you the truth. Like, why do we have to be late? There would be some Sundays at like, I'm like, okay, I'm negotiating with my parents. Okay, can we like make sure we get there on time? It's looking like we're not gonna make it on time. I like to come in when everybody else is coming in, sitting down, finding their seat. No, not my parents. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So embarrassing. Oh my God. So embarrassing. Yes, it's just mm, when good times. Now, truth be told, I was like, oh, this is some crazy stuff as I'm listening to it with my older adult ears and listening to what I was listening to when I was like 16. I was like, oh my God. But at the time, it was like, oh, this is great music. Ah, I dabbled in raving, dabbled, and then we moved from an area that wasn't so near raves all the time. I was in San Francisco Bay Area, and then we moved to the Central Valley in California. And so kind of hard to find once we moved. No diggity. 96, I think that song came out. Ah, I love Purple Rain. Ah, the Thriller album was just amazing. So was Purple Rain. Oh my God. I want a record player too. Oh my God, Debbie. When so I was just telling my husband like last week, I said, I want a record player. I want to hear the crackling sounds of the records. And I want records. My parents have like records and they don't listen to them. I could like take them back here and listen to them. And because I listened to their record player and their records, and that's why I just love music from way back when, because I was listening to it, like their old school 70s R&B and funk and you know disco and all of that. I was listening to it because of my parents. Their heyday was in the 70s, right? So anyhow, I digress. Let me stay focused. Like I'm reminiscing, but I do want a record player. Mm, right? Yeah, like I know, like some people be like, Too Short is the devil. Like, but really good music, like in terms of like, you know, the melody, the message. Thank you, Tony. Yes, 8 p.m. Hit up for Chris. Hi, friend. It's been a while. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. This is like a catch up, a leap year catch up. No, it's actually my end of the month review, and then me dragging y'all along to see what decks that I was thinking about adding to the collection. Oh, I like that song. That's a good song. Have you heard about that whole like the whole story? Like you know how they do the behind the music or True Hollywood story? I don't know if they did that like in Ireland or like they have like those kind of shows where they're like telling you like the groups behind the story like situation. Baboosh that was a good one to watch on. That was a good one. Yay. Yes. The last time I was laughing to myself, I was all in the chat. Like the Wi-Fi was so bad, I was all in the chat. Like people were asking questions and I'm doing a reading and putting in the chat while Scott's doing readings for the subs, the people asking for their readings and stuff. What a mess. Thanks for hanging in there with me, Scott. Southern cooking, my God. And not just the southern cooking and the fattiness and deliciousness of it all, but they like to eat solid meals all the time. You're not missing no meals in the South. I love when you suggest decks to use for different themes. Love, finances, looking forward to your health and wellness deck suggestions. Yeah, one of the subscribers has suggested, and it was like, That would be great because I do have clients who come to me for those type of readings, and I was like, oh, I want to share, and it's just great and gives people ideas. Maybe they don't even have the deck that I'm recommending, but then they'd be like, oh, I have a similar deck. It just, this is another way of us celebrating our deck collection. And I'm like you, Lisa. I like to, like a tapestry. I like to go and pull different decks and weave them. It's like weaving a beautiful story together with the different cards on the table. So that's just me. What's the plan with your latest deck on MPC where you can say, yes, thank you for asking about that. So I have been started back working with the Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle. It's a hefty one. It's 160 cards. And just literally, Tony, like late last week, I was like, I need to put it back on my projects to do. What is it, babe? So anyway, sorry. He had to let me know he's leaving. So I'm splitting the true crime deck up to make little mini decks so you can pick and choose which type of true crime or secrets revealed you want to put together. And I'm going to have to probably ask y'all's input on, like, okay, which cards go in this section? I mean, I'm going to make the ultimate choices, and I'm also going to be adding more, because then I realized after working with this deck a while, there's more keywords. So I definitely have to split it up. So yeah, I will keep you all in the loop on when I do that. Yeah, it's going to be quite the undertaking. Yes. Yep. That's right. It's called Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle. It's back over there. When I'm not working with it, I put it away. Let her rest. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Check out Jackie utilizing the deck. I always love seeing, when someone else is working with it, because it's like it unlocks something with me, like in how I can work with my decks. Ooh, Blind Spot Oracle. Ooh, I love a name like Blind Spot. It's hefty. I like a hefty deck too, clearly. I love the more cards, the merrier when it comes to Oracle. Okay. So I showed y'all the second deck. Now we're moving on to the third one. And I'll speed her up. Oops. Because I could talk to y'all all day. So let me share the screen. And this one is new. I learned about it yesterday. And maybe y'all know about this one. And one of my members, my Poise Elite members, mentioned it, and I was like, oh, I love it. So it's called Journey Illustrative Tarot 80 card deck, and it was on Kickstarter, but now it is obviously printed. It's probably going up for a second printing, I think. And this is the one that I said that had the coloration issues, but I don't mind coloration issues. That you could buy off the creator's website for $30. But I wanted to read a passage. Oh my God, I need him to go. So the dog stops barking. She gets on my nerves. It's like her bark is like a lion's roar. You ever been at this like a zoo and then the lion roars? You're like, oh my God. Okay. I wanted to read a little passage from the creator's Kickstarter. It says the Journey Tarot deck is a comprehensive, intricately illustrated tarot set, most closely related to the hermetic structure of tarot. This deck is the culmination of my profound inspiration drawn from the romance of life, embodying fairy tale-like characters, scenes, and artistic expressions throughout. Certain cards harbor an echo of historic aesthetics, resonating with the Renaissance, Rococo, Neoclassical, and Raphaelite, pre-Raphaelite periods. As an artist, I view life through a romantic lens, rooted in the belief that all existence springs from a cosmic romance. And so, while I gave life to my deck, it sprouted its own playful persona in return. So just beautiful, dreamy. And it's the one deck that's traditional tarot card size, which I really appreciate. That like bumps up everything. Bumps up everything. The immediate objective. So, anyways, I was going to see if I could find pictures. Here's the acolyte of water. Beautiful box. So I think the $70 when it goes into reprint, according to the creator's website, is going to be the price point for the second edition. It's got a guidebook. I was hoping more pictures. You have to go to the creator's website. Anyways, yeah, let me see if I can find you. Oh, he's on, let's see. Is it sharing? Yes. It's not sharing. Let me stop sharing for a moment. I got to share the website. All right. This is the website. Shop now. It's going to take us, oh, it took us to another screen. Okay. I was like, oh, how do I find you? Here's the misprint, $30. $30, 70 sold out. That's the actual deck with the guidebook and the cute little box. But I think with this, you don't get the box, no guidebook. I'm not tripping off the guidebook, not really tripping off the box. If it's just a coloration issue, I suppose I could live with that. Can you see that? And I get it. The artist can't necessarily just have all the pictures up close. They try to protect their art as best they can from weirdos who feel the need to steal it. So I get why you can't really have the pictures on blast. But this is the Journey Illustrated Tarot. Indeedy. Hi, Heather. Hello. How are you? I was just telling Jackie, I was like, y'all are inspiring me to work with y'all. I have to like make sure my Wi-Fi is not going to be just crashing everything, crashing the party. So I want to definitely get together with you all soon. That's going to be fun. Hello, hello, welcome. Oh, what do you think about the zombie and the housewives tarot deck? I'm curious. I don't have the housewives one. I have the zombie ones. And I love zombie themed stuff. Yeah, bootleg deck stuff. And it's like, and I just my heart just really goes out to creators, right? They have to deal with all that and take the joy out of creating. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. And I'll be checking out y'all's video the live stream you did yesterday too. Gotta check that out. Okay. So I showed you all the 3 decks. If you could vote, I'm just curious, which one would you be called to get? And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull a card for each of them asking, how would I feel about having that deck in my collection a year from now? And seeing what comes up. Now, whichever deck rises to the occasion here, I'm not going to just stop there. I'm going to probably do the whole spread that I showed you all earlier, the new to the collection spread that I'm pulling this question from, and go a little bit deeper and take my time with deciding on what deck. And some people be like, well, just get them all. But I don't want to just get all 3 decks. I want to be thoughtful and intentional about what I'm adding. So with that being said, you said the first deck. Okay. It got a lot of views. Congratulations. I mean, it's sad why the video is getting, it's like, oh my God, there's a missing person, but it's bringing awareness. I didn't even really hear about her case until the notification came up. So it's helpful to, get the word out. It really is. So great job, ladies. Great job on getting the word out and tapping in and seeing what comes up. I'm looking forward to watching and seeing what comes up in your readings. First deck. First deck. Yeah, I can't even look at the comments. Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna do the reading, watch y'all's video, then come in. I like to go and look at comments all the time. Another very favorite pastime of mine to do. Yes, indeedy. Congrats. So first deck is your vote. The Rhythm and Blues. Wait, did I say Rhythm and Blues? I said Rhythm and Blues. Rhythm and Soul Tarot has 2 votes. Okay. You probably are also gauging on my level of excitement. And Donna knows me. She knows, like, oh, I'm like a sucker for such decks that represent, like, my family, like where they're from. So let's go first with the Rhythm and Soul. How would I feel about that deck 12 months, a year from now, having it in my collection? Okay. I have 4 of Wands. Now, how about for our next one, the Unfinished Business, a Ghostly Tarot? How would I feel about that deck? Like, would I feel solid? Would I feel like this was a solid addition? I'm glad I worked with it. It feels great. How would I feel about it 12 months from now? Justice. Okay. And then the last one, which is Journey, Illustrated Tarot. How would I feel about that deck 12 months from now? Yeah, interesting. 9 of Wands. All right. And maybe what it shakes up to be is that eventually all of them come to my collection, but just not right away. Maybe it's like, I get this one now, get this one, like, okay, let me say this. 4 of Wands is interesting to me for the Rhythm and Soul because there's about, another 20 days or so of the Kickstarter. And I've been kind of hemming and hawing for like probably a month on what to, like, is it time, like, do I want to add it? But I'm encouraged that a year from now, I would feel like this was a solid investment. We have a good relationship, can't even talk, a good connection. It's a feel-good card, 4 of Wands. Build upon with the readings, different types of readings to explore, but it could be a foundational deck. Justice is interesting for the second one, the Unfinished Business. Justice. A balanced relationship. But maybe it's like a guide of like, maybe waiting until maybe the justice period. So maybe not feeling the call or the need to rush to get it right at this moment. Keep it on the wish list. Maybe it's not the time to get it yet. Maybe there's other decks I need to hold space for and work with right now. Justice is what, for me, the time period of September 21st to October 20th. So maybe that might be a more appropriate time to go hunting for it. I don't know. 9 of Wands is for the last deck. How would I feel 12 months from now, a year from now, about that purchase or addition? Nine of Wands. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah. It, it is incredible. Incredible. Unfinished Business. Carrie's Crystal Musings has a walkthrough. The stories was good. And so, you know what, the unfinished business is like, I think there's more for me to learn about it too. I got to watch some walkthroughs. I haven't watched any walkthroughs of that deck, and I get a golden opportunity to watch walkthroughs of the unfinished business, as well as the third deck, the Journey Illustrated Tarot. So that's the plus side to, second printings and things. Other people have it. I can check it out. I can take my time and see if it's something that I want to get, and see if the story, like, I have a feeling I'm going to really enjoy the story. And if I had to choose, it would be the Justice card would be a top card to get if you're waiting all three of the cards that came up for each of the decks. The Justice card would say, you know that might be a really good investment in the long term, in terms of your reading practice, in terms of your collection. Nine of Wands, I don't know. Maybe it's going to call, maybe the third one, the Journey one's going to call me out on my crap. I don't want to do readings today. You do want to do readings, and you're going to hear this message. Maybe it's going to, I don't know. Let's see. I love Kim's mic. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Me and my mic. I'm steady learning more about sound. I love that. Unfinished business, justice. Isn't that? Oh, that's a nice play on that, right? That's something. That's something. I like. Oh, yes. It's a beautiful justice card. This is from the Super Linares Tarot. Look at that. It's all bent. Oh. Ooh. Yikes. Justice is saying it's going to help finish business. I like that, Tony. It's a beautiful deck too. And I don't have any of MJ's decks. So there's that. Nor do I have any of the creator for the Rhythm and Soul Tarot. I will still say first deck for you. Oh, I'm leaning towards that one as well. And I'm also leaning towards, I like them all, and they're going to stay on my wish list. I rank also the decks by unlikely, likely, and very likely in a column on my spreadsheet. And I have a sense that they may be all very likely additions at some point in the future. Mystical. Okay, no worries. Indeed, Karen and Heather. Crazy times. Rumors about were maybe no more printings, but it's a death deck with the stories of why the characters haven't passed on. Oh, oh, that's another reason why. I'm glad you gave me that tidbit of information, Tony. That could be why the major arcana popped up with regards to unfinished business. It's good to know. It possibly won't be mass market because her contract has ended. Oh, I was curious about her doing an indie deck, and I was like, well, why didn't US Games or any of the other, did she work with US Games and Hay House, MJ? I can't remember, but I was curious. I was like, I mean, I think it's great that she's doing an indie deck. I love that. But I was curious about it because usually when they have a what do you call it? Mass market deck out and about, the publisher is like, nope, you got to put them all through here now. Or I guess you can arrange different terms for, if you got it like that. as a creator. You can maybe arrange terms like, I'm still going to put out indie decks, but you all can have the rights or whatever to this mass market project I've done. Okay. Thank you. See, this is why I wanted to bring this up to y'all. And really and truly, if I asked, like, which deck would I get along with the most? Like, would I use the most? So you could do a question on that, like which deck. If your main goal of adding a deck to the collection is how would I work with it, or would I get a lot of use out of it? Then ask, like, if you're choosing between even one deck, how much use would I get out of it? You can tell from the 78 cards that of your existing deck you have, your favorite deck that you're consulting, it'll let you know, like, you're probably not going to get a lot of usage out of it. Or, oh, you're going to get a lot of usage and you're going to enjoy it. Or if you're ranking decks, you could put a card for each one and say, which one would I get the most use out of? So, or if you like, which one will I get the most soul stirring, deep shadow work kind of like work that I'm digging into? Which deck out of these options is going to deliver? And you could break it up that way, do a card for each option. So you could do that. I won't bore y'all with that. I just need to pick y'all's brains. And before I go, I do want to share with you all quickly some decks that came into my collection or I was using, and why it's a little special to me for February. So I'll share that quickly with you. We'll start with Oracle. And the Oracle deck that I have. Oh, one thing I did do is I added to my my dice. I make divinatory dice for myself to work with, and I'm ordered an additional one that when people are asking about timing, I have on here hours, minutes, seconds, day, night to be determined. So that came in this month. I have another one coming in. I should have ordered them at the same time to save on shipping, but I didn't know I was going to want more than one. So that was fun. I did that. And the Oracle, if you all can't tell, I've been using my Situations Oracle. I do client readings, and this deck delivers. And this is why I was saying I have a small budget for adding decks to my collection. And when I blow out decks, when I'm constantly using them day after day after day for readings, eventually I have to replace them. So I have to take that into consideration when I'm adding to my collection. But this is one that gets a lot of heavy use. It's the Situations Oracle by Intuitive Envisions 1111. And I really, really enjoy it. I love an Oracle deck that is, hold on, let me stop. That is tarot sides, toxic, unhealthy behaviors, people. And so you can have it go into different directions. It covers all sorts of situations, racing. So I like these kind of decks that people just create, like individual creators, and they, maybe they find stock art, maybe they kind of do some other digitized work, and then they have great keywords on there. It's really helpful in readings. We have sold. So it's, hold on one second. I'm going to show you a few more. Tragedy, Forbidden Love. Verge, About to Reveal, Confess. So yeah, I've done a flip through of this deck of unboxing. And you can see all the cards through the flip through. It'll be the flip through video link is in the description box of this live stream. So yeah, I'm not going to keep sure. Oh, I love the entrapment card. Pregnancy, money, heartstrings. Sometimes I use them for my mysterious type readings, this one. But most of the time, this deck is used for client readings because it can just cover all sorts of topics. And it doesn't necessarily sugarcoat, but it doesn't necessarily be all harsh and crazy with the messages. I have some decks I'm like, oh my God. like, and then it's like a live kind of reading, so I can't hide that the card, oh God, well, we gotta talk about it. Let's just talk about it. But this deck, it lays it out, and it's a great complementary deck to tarot, like to help clarify things. So yeah, I like it. I like it. So I always use this one. This whenever I'm going to be doing these month in review, like catch ups with you all, I am going to share with you what's on my reading table, what am I using often, because I think that's important for you to hear about. And yeah. So next up on my list that I want to talk to you about is the Healers of the Earth Oracle. I have the box. Hold on. I have this one. It's got a 200-page guidebook. I rarely consult the guidebook, but it's really good. 73 divination cards and guidebook. And it came with this cool box, this book. It even came with this cool bag that I keep the deck in. And I use this one in client readings as well. I sometimes use it for readings for myself. But what I really like about it is, like, for example, a recent reading I did for a grandmother. She was asking about her grandkids, how to support them as her daughter is navigating a divorce with their father or what have you. And I didn't want to pry or anything like that, but I did want to support my client, the grandmother, in her supporting her loved ones. And so I just pulled a card for each of the grandchildren and how she could support. And so that was just a really lovely reading. This is like probably the third time in our time of working together where she's asked about how to be of support to them, or what does she need to know to be, of assistance to her grandkids or what have you. And so I just used this deck and it just delivers so beautifully. We have, let me find some of my favorite cards. Fungi Funeral, Moderation, Sobriety, Healthy Choices. And so the guidebook is great. You can work with the guidebook, but literally you have like keywords that you can go into the direction you need to on a reading. And then it's got beautiful little illustrations. Let's see what else. We have, hold on one second. Hmm. Okay. Well, friends, I'm going to wrap it up soon because we had two little power outages. And I have to assure you that we don't normally have power outages this frequently. We do have them sometimes, but it'll be like long stretches. And then it'll be a day where we have a couple. So, anyways, Healers of the Earth really delivered a nice, lovely reading for me. And it delivers consistently. This deck is by Mandy Peterson. I don't know if it's in print or not, but it's got a lot of cards. Here's the card backs. Night, Jackie. Thank you for joining. I'll be catching up with y'all soon. And it says, no place like home. Isn't that pretty? Pole shift, a change of heart, a turnaround, or reversal. So that's what I was saying as I pulled cards for each of the grandkids and how she can support. Because, we don't want to pry into when you're doing third party type of readings. It's like you got to be a little careful on how you move if that's what you are careful about in your readings. Some people don't really care one way or the other. But I don't want to be all prying in her grandchildren's world, but I can do a reading to help her in how she supports them, right? Feng Shui butterfly, change, renewal, releasing obstructions. And it's gilded or silver gilded. And it's still holding that. And I use it. I won't say I use it high volume like the Situations Oracle, but I keep it out in case I just feel called to grab it. And that's what I did in February. And I used it on a few client readings, but the one that stands out is my regular client who was asking about her grandbabies. So yes, I will just share quickly on the tarot deck. I want to thank a special you-know-who for gifting me this deck, friend. This is the Beginner's Tarot deck with keywords. You can get it on Amazon. I have another keyword deck, but I kid you guys not. I bought this deck. Look how crazy it looks already. I bought this deck a couple months ago. Yeah, it's got to be a couple months ago, and it's already banged the heck up. So I was very happy and excited to get this deck with the keywords, key phrases, reversals, upright, elements, yes, no, maybe, what chakras, what planetary elements we're dealing with here, what astrological sign, all that good jazz. And it has the Rider-Waite Smith depicted. So I'm not gonna, I didn't get permission to say a public thank you. But if you watch this later and you see this, I want to say a big thank you to you. I've been using it in client readings. I've been using it just to imbue my energies into it. I'm really enjoying it. And I still do use this one because I like it, but it's just, they need to do better cardstock. I got that one also off of Amazon. This one feels like a better cardstock. I do encourage people who, whether you are new or seasoned to tarot, get you a deck with good keywords to practice, play with it, and learn from it. And I like to show the clients this because I'm like, when they look at the picture of the cards later, they can kind of deduce and put together what they're picking up on in the cards too. And so it's cool and it's really pretty. It's all color, what is it, oriented? I don't know what you say. So yeah, she got this one and I'm so grateful. Look at the pretty card backs. Yep. That made me happy. It was nice to retire this one for like a good chunk of last week. I kind of just would kind of touch this one to and from. In like 2 months, this is where you could say cardstock does matter if you are using a deck all the time, because it's just not going to hold up. It's just not. The other deck I got that I'm keeping out and about to familiarize myself with it is the Mystic Palette Tarot by Chiro Marchetti. The problem with this deck what I talked about with you all earlier today, which is the size. It's 3 inches by 5. And it's kind of hard. And actually, a lot of people would appreciate this card stock and this texture of the cards. But I don't know, I almost would have preferred it being glossy because it's larger and it's just kind of difficult. It clumps. It clumps when I shuffle. And I use jumping cards, so I don't like the clumping happening. So I've been sitting out working with it, trying to see if I can work with jumpers with this card, with this deck, and it's starting to happen. It's starting to be broken in. Here's the card backs. There's a full color edition on Llewellyn, and what's cool about the full color one is that you get the guidebook. You get a guidebook, you get the deluxe box, whereas with the Mystic palette, like I want to say sepia tone, it's muted edition. You don't. You get this box here. Not a big deal for me. I don't need a guidebook either. I really like it though. As a reader, I did pull it out a couple of times for client readings and then mostly readings for myself as I'm getting acquainted with it and trying to work with it in my reading style. But I'm liking what's coming up. I'm liking what it's putting down. I really do like it. I'm happy I got it. But I have to say, I would appreciate if it was a tad smaller. That's just keeping it real. That's after a month. I got it like February, like right before it was released. So February 8th, like the first like weekish of February. And I've been working with it. And it's beautiful. I love the star card. I'm Aquarius, so of course I love the star card. So anywho, that's what I got. That was my favorite. I don't think I have anything else to share on it. Y'all hung out with me today, and I appreciate you for doing it. I appreciate you for hanging with my 2 power outages, my cussing censorship, and me going down memory lane like multiple times. You all are the best. I appreciate all of you. All of you. Let's see. Wow, you're hard on those hard lines. Yes, Donna. Oh my God. I'm putting them, I'm pushing through, getting them done. And it's like, but like it doesn't take long for my decks to start to show wear and tear. And yeah, which is a blessing. That means I'm putting them to work. I'm building a connection. I love what Karen said is seasoning your decks. Season them. Yeah, I agree, Tony. All beginner decks should come with that standard now. I agree. Why not? Why not? I love the new deck. So this is my friend who sent it to me. I did because I have to be careful. Like some people are like, no, do not mention it on your channel. I'm like, all right, I won't. So I have to like if I didn't talk about it ahead of time and I didn't, but thank you. Thank you so much for it. I love it. Cardstock is way better on this one. And some people are like, well, why would you show a deck with keywords? Or aren't you afraid of what your clients will say? Well, when you're confident in your reading abilities, you don't worry about that. There's many a decks that have keywords. Where's my power of surrender? There's many a deck that has keywords. You don't have to, you're not obliged to read it. You don't have to look at the keywords at all. But sometimes when you're doing multiple readings a day and your mind just is like, what? I don't know what to land on. And you look at the text, you're like, that's where I'm going. You know, some people are like, absolutely no keywords. I'm not going for it. But I'm not one of them people. And my clients like it. They come to me because they know I like to include folks. Like even with the Mystery Mystic Monday readings, I like to include folks in the reading process and tapping in and stretching their intuitive muscles. It's not just going to be me doing it. I can do it all day. I enjoy it, but I want to help others to do it as well. So that's why I like to have decks with keywords. Yeah, that's one on my list. Yeah, you're like, excellent. Yeah, I have to keep it real, like I think it behooves us to sometimes just lay it on the line on what's up. And if you have tiny hands or small hands or wrist issues, you probably want to know this is a heftier deck. You can even see in comparison. Let me pull up. Let me get this. You can see in comparison the size. So you can tell like it's gonna, and that's gonna be the same for two of the three decks that I picked y'all's brains on today to ask, like, what do you think? The Rhythm and Soul Tarot is this size. The second deck, I think it's this size. Third deck is not, it's this size. So things to consider. But if you're a collector, strictly a collector, that may not bother you whatsoever. But if you wanted to, if you had a desire to work with the deck for clients, even, that would be a consideration. I would rather keywords in tech box over big box and huge book. I agree. I me too. I totally am there with you. I don't mind a tuck box. Yeah, I don't mind a tuck box. I don't really care about the box. A bonus if it did come with the bag, but if it didn't, I have tons of bags, spare bags, tarot bags that I keep a collection. So that's not a big deal for me. But yeah, I like keywords. I love keywords. I'm a wordsmith. What do you know, I'm not going to deny keywords. That's just me. Well, friends, it is just 9 minutes shy of when Elemental Cartomancy goes live. Definitely head on over there. Check out Chris. He offers a wonderful weekly show that I'm hoping to be a part of soon. Aside from the power outages, this is why I like to do joint collaboration. So if I have to dip out and come back on, there's still a host, making it happen. Aside from that, the live stream went okay. So thank you all so much for joining me for my month in review, my monthly faves. Let me know in the comment section down below, what were you loving on in February? What got you through? What decks that you have to share about, or what decks are you thinking about getting? And then we can kind of weigh in for you. I still got more work to do, and I will announce maybe in the community tab what I ultimately decide to do. I'm going to probably do full spreads. I have a top 1, 2, and 3 that I'm leaning towards, but you all really helped because there was some behind the scenes information that Tony shared with me that's going to help me in my decision making. So I appreciate hanging out with you on this Thursday. Thank you for making my Thursday so special. And you all take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you all around. There's going to be more videos, by the way. A lot more videos, like tons. Mystery Mystic collection videos. I'm going to finally do my Archeo and the River like Oracle combo video. I've been wanting to do that. I have so many videos, y'all. This is why I should just do them live. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. How long is True Crimes available as is? Oh, and I will be announcing the true crime one will actually stay. My intention is to keep it at the full 160 and then do expansions. And the expansions may be, I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. There's going to be split up decks and then expansions if you already have the 160 card, the original true crime. So I'm keeping that one. That's going to be just there. It can stay there. But what will be in an announcement is when the expansions are done and when I've split up the deck, the 160 cards into multiple little decks. But still, you're going to have the option to be able to buy it, I think. We'll see. That's the plan. That's the plan. But we'll see. And I'm looking forward to digging into more creative outlets like that. So, yeah. I'll keep you posted for sure. Fun hanging with you. Thank you, Donna. Thank you all. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, everyone, for hanging with me. I will see you all around. Bye, friends. Happy tarot reading.